Hello and welcome to this most recent episode of Town Talk. Yes, it is an international break. And once again, I'm your host, Stephen Downs, and I'm here with Kaine Hall as ever, looking back at the two recent results for Huddersfield Town. We've got over the FA Cup. Well, maybe not, but we'll try to. We've had a draw with Crawley Town and a win in the whatever cup it's called these days, the Bristol Street Motors Cup, 4-1 against Manchester United's under-21s team. Kaine, how's the international break treating you? Are we watching England or are we not bothering?
It's just pointless, isn't it, really? It's just a waste of time for everybody involved. I don't know why they do it.
No, I don't. No.
It really is such a waste of time. It means weekends are boring and it gives everyone a lot of the players a chance to whinge about that they're playing too many games when they're not playing too many games. But I do think that the international break, I think, is this the third one so far this season?
Third one this season, yeah. The next one's obviously not until March, but I'd never known it where we've had 3 already before like the beginning of December. It's quite a lot, really, that, ain't it?
It's just stupid, mate. Honestly, it's pointless. I really don't get it.
I didn't even mind if it was for like World Cup qualifiers or whatever, but it's literally for the Nations League. Like, I'll be honest, like normally when England's on for World Cups and stuff, I obviously watch, but I'm really not bothered about the Nations League. It's a little bit like the Papa John's Trophy or the
pointless cup.
Yeah, but it's just pointless, isn't it? But anyway, we're gonna try and make some chat out of the pointless cup. But we'll go back to the 2-2 draw with Crawley. I think we were all hoping that we were going to see, a marked improvement from the FA Cup defeat to Tamworth. And when we talked, I remember Callum saying that we have to expect that we are coming up against League One opposition, so we do expect it to be the level to be higher. And I didn't think the level was that high, to be honest, mate. I mean, I managed to watch the game. They had very little in terms of chances. We created, some decent efforts in the first half, but then once again, Ben Wiles misses a sitter, and they go 1-0 up pretty much 2 minutes after that. I mean, I couldn't believe when they took the lead because that was the first shot in the game that they'd really had.
Yeah, I've seen bits and bats of the game, Steve. I'll be honest with you, I've not really watched much of it. So I kind of don't want to be too critical, because I don't think it's very fair. But you look at the result, you go, well, what's happened here?
Yeah.
From the bits that I have seen, I would have to agree with you there. What's happening. I think they were clinical throughout the game. Don't get me wrong. Crawley keeper made some fantastic saves as well throughout.
Yeah,
but I do think we have to be doing better there. We have to be doing better.
Yeah.
Now you look at it in this way, you go, well, 1-0 down, and they got a result. They got a draw. Is that really good enough for what Town are aiming for?
I don't think it is.
Yeah, well, what Town are aiming for? It's not, Steve. But at the end of the day, this kind of result that they have to take at the minute because they have been playing so poorly. They've been awful. They've not been great at all. You lose to Tamworth away in the cup. You come back into the league and play Crawley away. You go, this is it. We need to get back to things, and they can't. They can't go 1-0 down because they can't finish the dinner.
No, I mean Ben Wiles should have definitely. I don't know if you saw the chance, but Ben Wiles, how he missed that chance. It was a player that we have given praise to so far this season, and yes, we have criticised him, but a League One player of his standing, you would expect him to finish that chance, and if he does, that sets the game off in a different motion entirely. I think Crawley grew into the first half without creating really anything, but they looked comfortable on the ball, particularly at the back. They passed it about, but they didn't really have anything up front. at all. In fact, the lad that scored the first goal, he was their most creative player, really. And then when I don't know whether Chapman can do a bit better with a goal, the first goal. Do you think?
Yeah, perhaps, but again, yeah, perhaps could have done better. But I think overall, Stephen, when you look at it, you go, hold on a minute, why the 1-0 down after the chances that they've created?
Yeah,
But again, the Crawley keeper, he made some fantastic saves in that game. He had a bit of a blinder, to be fair. He would probably look back at his performance and go, "Phew, I've had a good
yeah.
one there. We were unlucky."
So they
Because go on,
they
sorry.
scored just before half time. So we go into half time and we're like, you know, what's going on here? We're 1-0 down. You could hear the dissatisfaction in the crowd. We talked a lot about booing on the last podcast. Well, there was some booing, if we're being honest, with the players going in. Come out the second half, and Reece Healy gets his head to the ball to score in the 59th minute. Good header, I have to say. The corner probably wasn't great, but Reece Healy made something out of it, and it was lovely to see him on the score sheet. To be back on the pitch, to be honest, Kaine.
Yeah, I think he'll be an important player for Town when he's fit. But it's obviously just getting him fit is the biggest issue here. Yeah, I thought we're good header. Corner were shocking, really,
Yeah,
really bad corner. But he's done what he can with it, and fair play to him because that is not easy to get the ball on target from there. The angle that he's going down, it is off balance. He's leaning down. He's
yeah.
leaning away. It really is a quality finish. To be fair, really good finish. I thought the keeper should have done better for that one, especially the way he'd been playing anyway. But take nothing away from Reece Healy's goal because it was he's done really well with it because, like I say, I thought the corner was shocking, but
He sort
maybe
of glanced it, didn't he? He didn't get a
yeah,
lot of
he's
power on it.
glanced it. Yeah, well, he's put his head in the right position to allow the ball to just come off the angle and go in the back of the net. So yeah, he's done everything he needs to do. Yeah, look, I know some of these corners that Town are having at the moment. They're either going straight into the keeper's hands, or they're going to the back post, or they're not making past the first man. I've
Yeah,
not seen a decent corner, to be fair, all year,
no.
especially for a team who prided themselves in scoring from corners over the last 2-3 years. So yeah, it's nice to finally see a goal from a corner like that. And here we are still complaining about the way the corner were taken.
But that was the thing, though. I remember in pre-season, obviously, as we know, you commentated on some of the games, but I thought in pre-season. I apologise. I think my internet's just gone there. Sorry.
There we go. He's back. He's back. Oh, he was back. Any chance, Steve?
Right, back again. Sorry about that.
He's here.
I was just saying, Kid, about the pre-season. In pre-season, we looked all right with corners, and then, the regular season starts, and we look absolutely atrocious. Like you say, and you rightly point out, I haven't seen a good corner all season either.
Weird, isn't it? There's kind of like no
What?
explanation for it. There's no explanation for it.
No, and what terrifies me is that they obviously don't practice them in training, do they?
Look, come on. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. Look, they're a full, mate. The full time club. You've got so much time to practice corners. I'd be very surprised if they don't. I get what you're saying. It looks like they don't, but they probably
Yeah.
do because they do work on some stuff in the corners. The delivery isn't always there,
No.
and that's half the battle. That is half the battle, to be honest with you. I think with some of the players that we've got, especially when Hillick's out there as well, the height that he brings, we should be really dangerous with set pieces, but it's just not something that's clicked for us yet this season. And I'd really like to see it improve. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Crawley take the lead again on the 65th minute through Anderson. Good goal from their point of view. Crap defending from Town. And to be honest, like you have called it a few weeks ago, Lomvik, terrible defending at the back. I mean, he loses the man, they get the crossing, and Anderson sticks it away. And a good finish, like, to be fair, from their point of view, it was a good like team goal. But from our point of view, really bad defending.
Yeah, good finish, but yeah, Longford again, and we're going to touch on him against the Man U game because he just likes to dive in. It's like he's playing underage football. He's a guy who's a Premier League football club and doesn't know how to stand his man up and jockey. For some reason, he just likes to dive into tackles. You're never gonna get the ball like that.
No.
I think Spencer done as well recently. He's trying to make a slide tackle, but he's completely missed it. He'd been better off just standing there, but. Maybe that's the age, maybe that's, a bit of experience that they need. But yeah, obviously disappointed for Town to concede again. Put themselves in a position where they've got to fight for something for the game where, this club compared to Crawley, different levels. Crawley went non-league how many years ago? Town went Prem how many years ago? And look, we can look about history and recent history, but the thing is, right now, Huddersfield are a club that has just been relegated from the Championship, one of the highest budgets in the league, and Crawley are nowhere near that.
No,
and Town are down a goal and have to fight for something in this game.
Yeah, and we do fight for it. I think there was a little bit of a panic, though. I have to say, Duff made some changes. And we got back into it straight away, really, on the 68th minute. But that was the frustrating thing with that goal with Herbie Kaine. Good finish, by the way, again. But, why did it take for Crawley to go in the lead again for us to start playing well again? That was really annoying to me, that the fact that then we went down the Crawley end, we started putting crosses in, we had a number of corners before that goal happened, and we started putting a bit of pressure on. Like you said, the keeper made some good saves, and then Herbie Kaine sticks it away in the 68th minute, and we're back to 2-2. And then for the rest of the game, Crawley didn't have a chance. I mean, we literally went for it, but it was kind of little too late kind of thing.
Standard, mate, yeah. Oh, by the way, lovely finish, good goal. Like the way that Herbie Kaine was in there, he opens his body up superbly and places it into an area where the keeper might struggle to get, and obviously it's worked out for him. So yeah, lovely finish. But as you mentioned, Steve, sometimes it's just a little bit too late, and you're just waiting for something else to happen. It's like, come on, it's like you just want to shake them and say, come on, like, do you realize what you're doing here? Like, wake up, kind of thing. Like, why are we asking the team to wake up on the 68th minute or whatever it is? Like, that should be from the start. It should be from the start. I do not get it. Something's not clicking. I just don't see something clicking at the minute.
No.
And we'll talk about you spoke about pre-season, and yeah, pre-season looked great, but it's pre-season.
Yeah.
All anything happens in pre-season. It's about when the games get tough, and we said judge them after the second international break. For some reason, we've had a third one now, and we're still thinking where we're judging them. So my perspective is they are not clicking as a team. They're not understanding instructions, or the instructions out there to winning instructions, and I don't see them as a team that's going to get automatic playoffs.
No, and we'll come on to that. But thanks very much for all your comments, by the way, so far. Huds 1975 says, does Bojan practice being a centre forward, which quite a funny comment. But we'll come on to him. And then Nick B, is this squad ready to go up this season? I suppose the answer to that is probably no, but we can discuss that in a moment. Obviously, after the game, Michael Duff said he went back to the XG argument. Kaine, I don't know how much you like the XG argument. Some people do, some people absolutely hate it. I think it does show something, but I don't think you can rely on it. You know, he kind of said, like with the Reading game, which we obviously lost, he's he pointed to Reading's XG, he then pointed to ours, said that we had so many more percentage worth of chances, which we did, but ultimately the end scoreline was 2-2 against Crawley and a 1-0 loss against Reading. You know that they are the facts, aren't they?
XG means nothing.
Yeah,
it means nothing. Honestly, it means nothing. What does it mean? And seriously, what does it mean?
Well, it means expected goals, doesn't it? It means how many chances that you create compared to your opponent. So that's what Duff was kind of saying, wasn't it? We've created so many chances, but we haven't put them away. So our expected goals is high.
Steve, my point is, I expected to be doing this at 9:30 this morning, but I didn't. It means nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It means absolutely nothing. Your possession means nothing. Your shots mean nothing. It depends how you want to look at it. It means nothing. At the end of the day, it's the result that counts.
Yeah.
It's the result that counts. I honestly couldn't give a crap about XG.
You're a hater of XG.
No, I'm not a hater of it. I'm not a hater of it, right? Okay.
Sounds like it.
No, but what I'm saying is it means nothing because it looks great on the stats. No, look at the XG that we had, or look at the possession that we had. Look how many shots. Did you win? No. But look at his XG though. Yeah. I get his point because it's showing that it shows intent. XG shows intent. And it's just another way for managers, for players, for teams to go, well, actually, no, look, we did try. Look at his XG. We tried. You can see that we had some intent. Well, yeah, you might have done, but didn't get result.
No. That is true. After the game, he also said that, the injury sort of situation was looking better. But, he kind of still said that, Josh Cromer came on. He said,
should have scored, by the way, Nedda.
Oh, yeah, he should have scored. Yeah, that was another expected goal, XG stat. But he kind of made a comment again where he said, nobody's really fighting or picking up for the number, the top two forward positions. And he's kind of said it a few times, Kaine, and I don't know whether he's hinting that, we're going to go back in for a striker in January, but nobody is really picking them up, are they? We've seen half decent performances from, Karoma, half decent performances from not Ben Marshall, from young Marshall, who we took off at half time again. So, what is the answer? Somebody says about does Brojan, practice being a centre forward? Well, nobody is making the centre forward position their own.
I don't think the centre forwards really understand what they've got to do in that formation at the moment.
No.
I think they're 70% there. Let's go through the centre forwards that we've got. Danny Ward is not at that level. Let's face it, he's not that level. He's not that level.
Old and injury prone.
Oh, he's gone in very harsh there. I would try to be polite, and I'm probably one of his biggest critics, but he's gone in very harsh there, Steve.
No, well, he is, isn't he? He's 34 and he's injury prone. Like,
yeah,
he is.
He is. Again, with Danny, I would much prefer him see him on the left wing so he can cut in on his left foot. Sorry, on the right wing, cut in on his left foot and shoot. That's what he likes to do. Don't see him as a centre forward. Never has seen him as a centre forward. He doesn't win the ball. He doesn't hold it up. It's just not his game. Brojan can link up play. Soft. It's too soft. That's his issue. He's soft as. He doesn't like the challenge, and it's a shame because I think he's a good finisher, and I think his link-up play is good. He obviously has lacked a lot of game time, and I was hoping by now it'd be some kind of match fit, but I'm just not seeing it. Josh Karoma is not a centre forward. He's a winger. He's a left winger, so he can cut in on his right and shoot. And it's already shown that he's not a centre forward because centre forwards like to head the ball. And Josh Karoma should have scored that header that he had. Reece Healy. I like Reece Healy. I think he could be an important player. He's a bit of a complete forward in a sense. Injury prone. I'm just waiting for his next injury to happen. He scored 2 goals in 2 games. He's probably going to get injured within the next 3.
Yeah.
Callum Marshall, young, hungry, wants it. Probably has to have his game time limited because the weight of the club's on his shoulders, because he's the only one who's going to put in the performance week in and week out. Who else we got?
Ladapo.
Yeah, Ladapo. Yeah, he's not really feeling Ladapo either. I don't think his ball control's there. I don't think his hold up play's there. He's not fit.
No.
Let's hope that he gets fit and by Christmas he'll get fit. Otherwise, Town will be in the market again. Who else we got? We've got Kieran Phillips just arrived back from Sacramento.
Maybe he's back now.
Yeah, he might come in and change things up. Can't see it happening.
Scored a lot of goals out there. Just want to put that. I know the level's not amazing, but he did score a lot of goals out there, and strikers feed off goals. So exactly. I mean, it was good. It was good to see him scoring.
Of course it is. Yeah, it's great to see him scoring. He's a Town player. He's out on loan. Great to see him scoring. Let's hope he comes back and pushes some of the players a little bit further. Let's continue with the strikers that we've got. Kyle Hudlin out on loan, 6'9" or whatever he is.
Yep.
Great finisher. Soft, can't win an header despite his height. That's why he's out on loan.
Yep.
Kaine Harrett works hard, likes to hold the ball up. Got a few goals when he can. Bit of a loose cannon. That's probably why he's out on loan.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him in a Town shirt again. I'll be honest.
It's a shame because I quite like him. I think he works really hard.
He does, but he's not of the quality that we need if we're wanting to get promoted.
Played well in Championship when he came on last year. Worked hard.
Yeah, I feel like every centre forward that you've named, we're kind of. There are faults with them out there, and I suppose there's going to be when playing at this level. They're not all going to be Irelands, are they? But none of them are prolific either, are they? We let the most. Yeah, if he's not injury prone, yeah.
Yeah, I do feel as if Reece Healy could be the goal scorer that Town need. It's just got to wrap him up in bubble wrap and cotton wool and just make sure he's all right. Otherwise, you're not going to get much out of him. He really has to be looked after, but I do think he could be that goal scorer that Town need. Yeah.
Let's move on to the Tuesday game against Manchester United under 21s. We beat them 4-1. First half ended in a 1-1 draw. Michael Duff went in at half time and absolutely, by the sounds of it, tore the absolute backside out of them in terms of giving them a real telling off. He came out after the game and said it was the most angry he's been whilst at Town. First half, not good, Kaine, if we're being honest. Man United under 21s, realistically, though, you look at that team, that most of them are 18, 17-year-olds. The 2 centre-backs were 17. A lot of the 20-year-olds for Man United are out on loan in the EFL or abroad. So, it was a very young team that we were playing. We had a very experienced team out there. Ben Wiles got the first goal on the 29th minute, but then they equalised at half-time, just before half-time, sorry.
Says it all, Steve, doesn't it? 17-year-olds at centre-half and not beating them in first half. And it takes to go to half-time and get a bit of a telling off to wake up.
Yeah.
Tells me there's something not right there. Does it not you?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I mean, that Ben Wiles goal were absolutely superb finish, by the way.
It was good, yeah.
He's really enjoying himself this year, and it's great to see because he had it tough last year. But he's having a really good season. I think.
Has he got that caravan off?
Yeah, he's got that caravan off. I think he's playing at a 7 or 8 every week. He's had a couple of 6s, but the majority of the time it's a high 7, 8 week in, week out from Ben Rouse, and that's the kind of form that Town bought him for. And scoring the goals that he is, it's honestly it's superb to see, because Town need goals, and at the minute, as we've just mentioned, the strikers aren't really giving us it, but he is, and he's creating two. He's creating two, which is the main thing. Superb goal from him. Look, these players that are Man U, right? They're good. Standard, like technically, they're good. They're at Man U for a reason. Are all of them going to make it as a professional footballer? Who knows? Maybe not. Most of them might even drop out down into the non-league stuff. But look, they're at Man U. They're there for a reason. They've got good pedigree. But as you mentioned, Steve, they are young. I'm expecting my experienced League One side to go out there and bully them.
Yeah.
And that might sound harsh, but that's what you do. You go out there, you bully a team that's younger than you. You make them not want to be there. That is just standard. That is just football. Now, the goal that they scored, I expect better from Miller in the first place.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, Longley diving in like he's at under-8s football just on the edge of the area. What are you doing? Stand him up. Force him backwards, jockey him. But I don't understand why he's diving in.
No, if that's Tom Lees or Pearson, he's just holding him up, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a nice little finish. Don't get me wrong, by lad. But then it's 1-1 at half time. You're going, what the hell is going on here? What is going on here? Honestly,
seriously, I mean, Miller was poor. I have to say, he didn't even try to get back either. Realistically, when you watch the highlights, he just jogs back in. If you've lost the ball, you need to die to get the ball back. Really, I know it. And listen, we know it's this crap cup, and we don't really want to be in it, do we? But you still put the shirt on, and you need to, show some pride and effort, don't you? Even if it's in a competition that we're not that bothered about.
Well, I'm looking at it like this, Steve. From the club's perspective. Okay, no one wants to be in it because it's an absolute waste of time. It really is a waste of time for everybody involved. It brings no money in, no revenue for any club involved, for nobody. It's absolutely pointless. It really is a waste. I hate it. I don't, I got asked at the beginning of the year, are you going to these games and covering them? No, I'm not, because I'm not wasting my time. It's absolutely pointless. It really is. So, but from a club's perspective, they go, no one wants to be here. No one wants to open up the stadium because it's going to cost us money. None of the players want to be there because it's another pointless game that no one really cares about. But we are one of the bigger sides in here. We have to get far in this.
Yeah.
We have to look at getting to at least the semi-finals because of who we are.
Yeah.
Anything less than that, that's an issue. If Town didn't get through in this group stage, could you imagine? Could you imagine the meltdown after what has been happening so far this season?
Yeah, it'd be. Well, I think there was a mini meltdown at half time, mate. I'm not going to lie.
Well, yeah, but this is it, though, isn't it? This is it, Steve.
We were 1-1 with a bunch of 17-year-olds.
Exactly.
And to be honest, you look at the second half, I mean, yes, Reece Healy comes on and scores in the 67th minute, but then the other two goals, they don't come until the 90th and 97th, when obviously the kids have run out of gas. There's lots of changes being made, and the League One, sort of experience and brutish manner comes through, but it's still only 2-1, up to the 90th minute.
Yeah.
It's not like we've gone out and, all right, it's 4-1. You look at the sheet and everybody goes, 4-1 victory. It must have been easy. That's not really what when we score the goals, that's not what he says, is it? It's 2-1 up to the 90th minute.
Yeah, and this is kind of like my whole point around this is Town are expected to go and get to at least the semi-finals of this cup, if not go to Wembley, because of who they are and the expectations of the club. So imagine the meltdown. They're out the Carabao Cup already.
Yeah.
They're out of the FA Cup to a non-league side.
Yeah.
They then can't get through the group stages of the most pointless cup in the nearly as bad as the Nations League. It's on par with how pointless it is.
Oh yeah,
It's things that go into plan in terms of in the league because they're expected to be in the top 3 and they're not.
yeah.
The meltdown that would be happening if Town didn't actually go and win that game on Tuesday. I'd be honest, I'd quite like to have seen it, but something needs to change. I'm talking about. It's hard for Kevin, for Jake, for Mark, and for Michael, because the expectation of the club is of a top championship club, and that isn't the club. It's just not. It's probably I'd probably say Town are maybe mid-table championship level now as a club as a whole. Obviously, on the
Yeah.
pitch it's not, and they don't deserve to be there. But you're having to change a lot of things about it: the identity of the club, the identity of what the fans see, and yeah, they're not getting it yet, and I think they will. I really do think they will. It's just there's still a lot of transitioning going on, and it's a good job that they won that game on Tuesday.
So we win the game on Tuesday. I don't actually know, unless you do, Kaine, when the draw is. I don't know who we're facing the next round, and I don't even know when it is. Do you? Have you got any idea?
Please, it's a pointless cup. I really do not care. Look, if Town get to Wembley, I'll probably be there. Standard.
Oh
I
yeah,
really
you'll
will.
be there with
You
your
know what I mean?
flag. I love this cup.
Yeah. But I just think it's a waste of time. I do really just think it's a waste of time. Just on a business level for all the clubs involved, I feel for them because it's only there now. Look, I get it. It's an opportunity for clubs in the lower leagues to get to Wembley, which is fantastic. Going to Wembley is amazing. But bringing in the under-21s teams from the top Premier League teams, that's where it really puts a dagger in the back for some of these lower league clubs because if it's Wolves under-21s playing against Crawley, how many fans are they getting?
You see, I could be wrong. So somebody in the comments can put me right on this, but I think there's only 2 under-21 sides that have actually progressed to the next round. From my understanding, I think Everton might be one of them. I forget the other one. Hud's 1975. But if we were doing better in the league, nobody in the FA Cup, nobody would care about this competition or be as bothered. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right that nobody. I mean, I don't think anybody's that bothered anyway. But the frustration, as Kaine says, with the league form and obviously them being embarrassed in the FA Cup does make it slightly more important, I suppose. And Nick here says only if our strikers had potential to score over 20 goals in a season, and he's injured most of the time. He's talking about Healy. Need to offload 3 or 4 and bring in another 2 quality additions in Jan summer. Not easy though.
Yeah, it's not easy. How do you get rid of someone who's crap?
Yeah, it's true. They always say whenever you listen to these interviews with director of football or whatever, they always say the hardest thing is to get players out, not bring players in.
Yeah, you want someone who's not performing unless they're off contract. You can't do anything about it.
No, that
And
is
for
true.
some reason, someone listened to someone to put certain someone on a bigger deal at their age. And I don't think I think you can read between the lines there.
Yeah, we can. Well, I think you've said it out loud before, to be fair, but yeah.
Yeah, probably have.
So looking forward, what does Duff do in this international break? He says he's going to have the players have got this weekend off. He said then they'll be back in
Get them
all
in.
week. All week
Get them in this
to
weekend. They've got things to work on.
they should be in now as we're talking. What does he work on, Kaine? What does he need to get out of this international break?
An understanding of what every single player needs to do in that formation, or work on a plan B.
Right. And which do you think is more likely to happen? Do you think he'll work on a plan B?
Neither. I don't think neither are going to happen. No, I don't know. I don't know. I hope both will get. I hope both of them ideas get worked on. I
Yeah.
do. I generally do feel as if some of the players need a bit better understanding of this formation that they're playing.
Yeah.
And I know if that was to be said to anyone at the club, the argument would be, well, we've had all pre-season and we've been playing it for ages. Yeah, you might have been, but I'm still not seeing. I'm not seeing fluidity in that formation at the minute. I do feel as if some players aren't really sure what's happening because I think they can be very easy to beat, providing providing the opposition plays a different formation. And I've said that time and time again.
Yeah.
Look, it's great going forward that we can create the opportunities, but we're so slow. Tempo is so slow to every game, and again, is that because what they're being asked to do or what they're being told to do, or is that again because of they don't really understand the formation? You know, you're asking a lot of work from the wing backs and the midfield there.
Yeah.
To do some work. They're doing some distance covered. And you know, maybe that's why, you know, we're seeing the ball go along the back three, and they're all taking 5 or 6 touches because they're waiting for someone to do a bit of work, but they're already doing work because they've been up and down and up and down and left and right, and I'm just thinking some of these boys in the middle need a bit of a break here.
Well, which and you point that out, the fact that you know, in the last couple of games, the main midfield three take out the Man United game because obviously we had Tom Yapenda in there, but it's mainly been Ben Wiles, David Kasumu, and Herbie Kaine. You know, and Kasumu was as good as what he's been, and I think he has had some good performances this season. But you know, it's putting a lot of pressure on a lad that historically has also brought down with injuries.
Yeah, like Sumu, absolute engine on him. He will run for you for days. You know, you
Yeah,
ask him to run for days, he'll do it. You know, I really like that about him. Yeah, he's an absolute athlete. He's David Kasumu, and I do think he's due for a rest because you want to look after a player like that.
yeah,
Someone who's willing to do all that running, someone who can do all that running. Just look after him. You're asking a lot from Herbie Kaine at the minute. Obviously struggled with injury when he first came in, and he's kind of getting there. Ben Wiles should be as fit as he is, so no questions there. What I'm thinking is, you know, I'm looking at the other players like Iapenda, Evans. I'm thinking, what are you guys doing? Why are you in the team?
Well, Evans,
You
I think, is injured, from what I understand.
But you know, Town have got a squad to cover every position. That's what
Yeah,
they've done. So why are they in training not proving themselves to go further forward? You know what? Why are
yeah,
they not in the starting lineup? That's my question. But what I'm hoping, what I'm hoping is internally the question is they are making that decision hard for Michael Duff, and he's having to take it on the chin and go. Tell you what, lads, you're working really hard, but these boys who are in the starting 11 at the minute, well, they're working even harder and they deserve their place. That's all you can ask for.
yeah,
That's all you can ask for. And I think midfield at the moment is probably where Town's best players are.
yeah.
Um,
We're getting some great comments in the questions, Kaine. To be fair, in the comments,
love it, love it.
I'll put some of these to you.
Yes.
Out of interest is from 1975. Out of interest, which players don't you think we'd struggle to get? Do we think that we'd struggle to get off the books? He means. Right, okay. Let's think about it. Well, we've talked a lot about the centre forwards. I think you know your players such as Carl Hudlin, who's been here 3 seasons now. I think somebody like that's probably hard to get off the books because he's not really gone out on loan and scored a lot of goals. Keane Harrott, you know, I think not a lot of clubs will probably go in for him. Then you've got your older end. So like we said about Danny Ward, obviously experienced centre forward, but a lot of these clubs don't really want to take on an injury-prone player, realistically.
Yeah, take words out of my mouth, mate.
I mean, come in with any more, Kaine, if you've got any more on your list.
Well, shall we get the list up? That's the real question here, is going through it. No, but Steve, you make the point there because you look at the players that are out on loan. They're out on loan for a reason.
Yeah.
And the teams that they're going to are in lesser league. So are they actually paying for their wages? Again, that's another interesting factor because you've got to look at that now because not every team is going to want to pay for someone. So let's start at the top.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Danny Ward. You're not going to get rid of him because, as we mentioned, he's 33, he's injury prone, he's on a decent contract. No one's going to pay him the wages that Town are playing. Bojan came in for a decent fee. Town will want a decent fee back. No one's going to pay for that at the moment because he's not up to speed. He's not playing like that, and he's not really scoring goals. Freddie Ladapo, he was on a free in the first place. There's a reason he was on a free.
Tracked him for months, though. Tracked him for months.
Yeah, okay. Josh Roma is a winger for me. I'm quite surprised that he got another contract. I don't think I probably would have given him one, but at the moment he's the top goal scorer, so fair play to him. But he does have his injury problems, and he's not always the hardest of workers. And again, I think we want players who are going to work hard. Let's go down into midfield. Josh Ruffles, injury prone, a little bit older now, getting there. He's not really getting in the team. Is anyone going to want to take him on with the injuries that he keeps getting?
Yeah,
probably not. Let's go to the back. Ollie Turton. How many months has he been out injured? No one's going to want to take him on. So how do you get rid of him unless it's going to be at the end of the contract? Although, by the way, I do feel as if Ruffles did deserve a contract extension, by the way, because I do like him.
Yeah.
Jaheim Headley. I mean,
I think there's a footballer in there. I do, but I do.
Steve.
No, I do. It's just his confidence has been absolutely battered, and he needs to go out on loan.
No, Steve, I'm sorry, but his level is National League, and no one's going to pay his wage at National League, so you can't really get rid of that. That's the issue here, is that there's players that aren't good enough for the standard. Certainly weren't good enough for the Championship. Some aren't good enough for League One, but they're on wages that are too good for where they're going to end up.
Scott High, mate. Let's bring Scott High back.
I forgot about Scott High.
He's still here.
Yeah, he's come back, hasn't he? Because he's got injured at Halifax. But now this is so harsh because, look, I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but he went on loan out to the Championship the other year, failed, came back, were poor, and then went down to the National League.
Yeah.
I really feel for him because he's not wanted at the club that he's wanted because he's not good enough. No other club in the Championship, League One, League Two want him. He had to go to the National League.
Yeah.
I really do feel for him. It says a lot.
And at one time, it looked like he was going to be the next thing out the academy, actually.
No, if you watched him, it didn't.
No,
Sorry.
But what I'm saying is,
I get your point. I get your point. Yeah, I get your point. And I feel for Scott. I really do. You kind of want him to do well because he comes through the academy, but it was kind of never going to happen. And it's going to be the same with Headley if you don't buck up his ideas. But
I mean, you clearly don't rate him, do you?
No, I don't. I really do not. I think he's really poor. I think against Tamworth, him and Danny Ward found their level.
Okay. You know how when you said earlier that you thought I was a bit harsh on old Danny, you've kind of leveled up now, haven't you?
Am I wrong?
Well, in some people's eyes, yeah. In Danny's eyes, probably so.
Probably, yeah.
We'll move on to the other question that came through from Blue Terry 19. Which formation do we go with if we decide to scrap the 3-5-2, which is Kaine's favourite? As I think we are very limited when it comes to formations with a lack of wingers.
Yeah,
Bring Sorba back, get him back.
Yeah, it's frustrating, Blue Terrier, because I get the 3-5-2. I do get it, but I don't think everyone's 100% with it. It can work, and I've seen it work, but it's currently not working for Town. And it is tough because, like as you say, the wingers situation, because Town have bought for a 3-5-2. That's what they've bought for. That's what the squad is there for. I would definitely be thinking about a change, such as a 4-3-3. It's one of my favourite formations. I really do like it. What you could interchange with what the players that we've got is a 3-4-3.
Yeah.
As well. Again, it's a formation that I like to use every so often. Them two. And you talk about the lack of wingers. Josh Karoma, he can play on the wing. Danny Ward can play on the wing. Mikael Miller can play on the wing. Sorensen can play on the wing.
Jaheim Headley.
Shut up, Steve.
Sorensen. We forgot Sorensen.
Yeah, I said Sorensen. You know, they're the players that they can play on the wing. You know, and then you don't really have to. You know, you look at Miller and Sorensen, if they go further up the field, you've got the cover with Turton, Ruffles, Spencer.
Yeah.
So Longvic apparently can play out on the left-hand side as well. Matty Pearson can play right back.
Spencer?
Yeah, I've said Spencer. There is enough there to go and do that. But yes, they have bought for the 3-5-2. There is scope for that change. You know, and that you go to a 3-4-3 isn't too.
I think that'd suit us. I think that would really suit. I could imagine that being quite a decent formation, really, because you could have, you know, Kaine and Kasumu in the middle. That will work as a nice two, and then you've got, obviously we've talked about the wings there, but then you could have. For me, it wouldn't be a traditional like front three, because you could have Ben Wiles sitting in the number 10, and then you could still have your two strikers.
Steve, that's a 3-5-2. What you just described there, but just
no, because like Ben Wiles would be the floater.
It is. You've just described a 3-5-2, but defensively, that's generally what you've just described. Now, I get your point. I see exactly what you're talking about, but you've got to kind of stick to what you're going for there. So for me, a front three has a different dynamic to the game, because your front two at the minute are very, very narrow, and they don't really understand where they need to be. In my opinion, it's like they don't know whether they need to go out wide or not, or they're going like that, and they're either too far apart or they're too close together. And do they need to go press down there? Does he need to go press down there? Why is my winger not doing it? Now, if you get the three up there, you cover the field, the width of the field.
Yeah.
And you put the defence under pressure. At the minute, Town are not putting any defenders under pressure, unless the midfield is coming up to do the work and the fullbacks are coming up to do the work. But if the fullbacks are coming up to do the work and the midfielders are coming up to do the work, that's when Town get broken down easily, because they do not know how to cover the ball over the top into the channels. And that's where they're getting their goals. So by having the two up there when it's quite narrow and asking the midfielders to do that work that they're already overworking in there, same with the fullbacks, that's where the issue is. If you have the three up there, you cover the width of the field with three players, because most of the time you're going to come up against either 4 or 5 defenders back there.
I'm going to ask the lads if we can get one of these tables, you know, like they have a match at day where you can just move them markers about. Because your tactical analysis is spot on what you've just said, to be fair. I mean, like,
if I'd have known, I'd have got my tactics board out of my car. I know you're laughing, but you forget that, coach, and I have a tactics board.
You are, yes. I'm sure you're a very good coach as well. Nick, Nick B says Danny Ward should be off to Bradford.
I don't think he will. Well, I don't think he will open up Bradford because no one's going to pay his wage.
I think he'll just retire. Blue Teddy 19. Newport seem to rate him. Woodland Chile. We can try and sell to them. Yeah.
No one's going to buy him.
I'm sure we'll try. I'm sure we'll try.
They're going to wait for his contract to end and pick him up on a free.
Odds 1975 says, does Hoggy leave in January or just leave at the end of the season? No.
Hog doesn't leave. Sorry, Hog doesn't leave.
I'll make him a coach. That's what I do.
Yeah. I think Town would be very silly to let Hoggy go. I think.
Yeah, I do as well.
Keep him there because he is so good for the club as a captain.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of things that he's doing right now that we're not seeing. I know he's not getting in the team, but that's because Kasumu at the moment is playing extremely well. Hogg will still do you a job, and he's probably doing a good job as a captain as well. To let him go would be absolutely silly. I just want to see him there for until he retires, and then hopefully give him some kind of ambassador role or something like that because he deserves it.
Yeah, he does. He does. Hope Neil Warnock's not watching this, listening to this with Danny Ward comments. Yeah, well, I Neil. I'm sure he's watching.
Hey up, Neil.
Hey up, Neil. Get your comments in, Neil. Get your comments in. Like and subscribe to the video, mate. Nick B. Danny Ward was ill at Tamworth. To be fair, threw up at half time, and Nick threw up watching the performance. Thanks. That was a lovely sight, Nick, for Saturday morning.
Nick, come on now. I don't care how ill you are. You do not play that bad. I'm sorry. I don't care.
No,
you don't play that bad if
you Kaine, Neil's watching. Neil's watching. Calm yourself. Let's move it forward. Obviously, I'm not sure when the Wickham game is being rescheduled, but we did have them up next after Charlton. That might still be the case. I think it is Charlton and then Wickham. But it's two tough games coming up, Kaine. Charlton, as we know, is managed by the bottle job that is Nathan Jones. And I can't stand the guy. I can't. He's just a terrible man. And then he's an angry man. He's an angry little man. That's what he is. And then Wickham, they're flying at the moment. In the top two, scoring goals for fun. So let's start with Charlton first. Tough game at home. That Charlton are never easy.
Yeah, it will be a tough game. I'm sure Charlton will want to come up here and get the victory. There's kind of a bit of a weird rivalry between the two clubs for some reason. They'll want to come up here and take 3 points. It's a game where Charlton are probably looking at it and go, we might be able to get some points here. Yes, we're away. Yes, they're above us in the league, but we do what we can up at their place. We might be able to nick something. They'll probably want to get 3 points, but they'll be happy with a draw, no doubt. The recent form's not been great. Lost to Exeter last time out. But I'm pretty sure they'll come up with a plan. And it's all about Town trying to break down that plan. And, Town are desperate for 3 points outside the playoffs at the minute. But yeah, Charlton will come up. I think they'll be happy with a point, especially where things are going. But, if they smell a bit of vulnerability, then they'll go for the jugular and try and get all 3. I can't see that. Well, I say I can't see it happening. I couldn't see Town losing to Tamworth, but it did. So I'm sitting on the fence with that one, man.
Yeah, I think. Listen, Charlton last season relied a lot on Alfie May scoring the goals, and it got them quite far. This season, they haven't got that centre forward that's banging in the goals. So they're, like you say, the form has been shaky. They've lost to a half decent Exeter side who we've played already this season. But I think it's going to be one of them old time classic games, Kaine, of like it was back in the day when we played Charlton in League One. Topsy turvy, kind of. Town we're not in the best of form. They're not in the best of form. I think it could go either way, really, because I do think they're an half decent team, Charlton, and that it's a big club. and that they all have desire of getting up there into the playoffs. Listen, as I've said, it only takes a couple of seconds for Nathan Jones to self-combust himself anyway. So, and from what I understand, the Charlton fans they're not amazingly enamoured by him. So I think it'll be tough. I think it'll be a tough game.
Yeah, it will be tough, mate. So, we can only wait and see how that one goes. And
Score prediction?
It's a bit too early for that, Steve. It's a bit
What
too
do
early.
you mean? No, it's not. It's the next game.
1-0. 1-0 Town.
Okay. Scorer?
Bojan.
Right, okay. Not Danny Ward. And then I think we've got Wickham.
It'll be Leyton Orient, mate. It'll be Leyton Orient after that.
Is it Leyton Orient? Yeah, I mean, Leyton Orient, they're not doing so great. So, again, kind of another side that you would expect Town to try and go beat. Bit like Crawley, really. If you want to get up out of this division, you need to go beat Leyton Orient, don't you? That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. They're the teams that you've got to go and beat if you want to get out of the league, but they don't make it easy for you because they understand what the opposition's about. Leyton Orient away is Leyton Orient going, well, yeah, this is going to be a big game for us. We need to show our home fans here what we can do. So they might not necessarily just dig in and hope for the best, but they'll certainly have a go and see what they can get out of it. And if the game's not going their way after 20 minutes or so, then it will be a case of Town having to try and break down them, a very defensive side.
Blue Terrier, Hud's 1975 disagrees with you here about Bones.
Yeah, we're expecting that to come back, to be fair.
Well, we've done about an hour. We've talked about a pointless cup game. We've talked about Crawley and the sort of disappointment with a draw, and look forward to the next two. Kaine, it's been a wonderful Saturday morning, mate. Thank you very much for joining me once again, and I'm sure that you'll have a cracking weekend. It's disappointing that we've got really no football to watch because I'm not that bothered about England. No,
I'm hoping Tommy Tuchel's going to make it entertaining again for England fans. I really do.
Yes, I know that you did like the fact that he was appointed.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I hope everybody has a good rest of the weekend. Thank you very much for Kaine joining us on this Town Talk episode. The lads will be back on the Monday show tomorrow for our round. Not tomorrow, on Monday, sorry, for the round table, where I'm sure we'll be talking a little bit more about England and the international break. We're hoping to have Emily, manager Richard Tracy, on the podcast as well. Emily going, well in the Northern Premier League Division 1 East, third in the table at the moment. They've dropped a little bit in form, but hopefully they can get back to winning ways.
Steve, let me just jump on there because Emily are doing fantastic at the minute. They're a club that are doing everything right.
Yeah,
they've got a good kind of academy system that they've got up there. They're doing well in their 23s league. They've got so much scope for players wanting to be there. The ground, that the work that they've been doing up there, the pitch is fantastic. Some of the players that they've got, good friend of mine plays for them who I played with, Isaac Baldwin. He's really enjoying himself up there. And so are all the players. It's just a real buzz to be around it. They've got everything right at the club. They've got so many sponsors in the business club. The social media is good. The interaction with the fans and people that aren't the fans are getting great crowds, and it's good football as well. It's really good to see Emily, a local club, doing such fine work as well. And I think what's great about non-league and clubs like Emily, if when Town don't have games, they're up at Emily, they're going to go watch, and it's because there's a real buzz about them. And I can imagine that some Town fans that don't fancy going to watch Town anymore because of whatever reason, they'll be going to clubs like Emily, and it's really good to see. They're doing a fantastic job up there.
Yeah, no, they are, and you know what? They came up into this division that they're in now, and they knew it was going to be difficult, but they started the season really well on fire. They've had a terrible injury record this season, And yes, they've gone out of a few cup competitions, but that means that they can concentrate on the league. And I know Richard's going to work hard with them on the training ground to get back into a little bit of good form. They've only lost 2 of the last 5, so they've been in a sticky form, but hopefully they'll get back to winning ways over this weekend. So yeah, but you're absolutely spot on with everything behind the scenes. Right, well, I'll let you go and have the rest of your Saturday. But thank you very much, everybody, for joining us on this Town Talk special, and we'll see you very, very soon. Remember, give the video a like, subscribe, and follow us on the channel for all the latest stuff. All right, see you later.